I'm recording this because I got bored studying physics. So, yeah. Uh, okay, so I got bored studying physics and I'm just recording this for myself. I don't know how to start this, but every single goal, dream, or aspiration that you have in life, it's always worth it to be working towards those, always, even if they seem really, really out of reach, they seem almost impossible, it's still worth it. Not big, not as I'm like, I don't know how to explain this. Not as I'm like, yeah, go get, go fulfill your dreams. Like definitely, I cannot word it. Fuck, I cannot explain this properly. But what I mean by this is, even if the ideal life that you have imagined for yourself, your dreams, they seem too big, they seem out of reach, they seem impossible, it's still always worth it to be putting 100% of your efforts into achieving them. Like always, even if they seem, even if they are really unlikely, it's still worth it. Like if it doesn't make any sense, like any sane person would not go towards this path or go try and achieve this big idea, dream, goal that you have. It seems idiotic to do so, and statistically most people who try it fail, and just doesn't make any sense. It's still worth it because most delusional people fail. That's just the truth of it, right? Like most people who will delude themselves into achieving, into making themselves believe that they can achieve things that they might actually be not able to. Most of them actually fail. But every single person who does succeed was delusional. You see my point? Like, let's just say here's a group of delusional people, and 90% of them will fail. And here's a group of successful people, and they're all delusional. So by that logic, if you just look at the first group, it must seem like it is not actually a good thing to be delusional, to chase the impossible dream. But then you look at all the successful people, all the people who quote unquote made it, they've all been delusional. So it must be worth it to be delusional and actually go and chase after the impossible dream. And when you look at the people who are, let's just say, not delusional or uh, not actually actively pursue their dreams because they think it's unreasonable, it's impossible, it's too out of reach, 100% of them have failed because they didn't even try, right? So, so even if uh, logically things seem, it logically it doesn't make sense to do and chase your impossible dream. It always is. I don't know what I'm talking, but yeah, that's like the idea I want to get across in this video. I don't know how long this is gonna be, but I'm just saying. Uh, yeah. What else do I have to say? I have to say something. Fuck, I forgot. But let's just take some examples, right? Let's just say, uh, there's some kid who wants to, let's say, go into the NBA, right? Let's just say he wants to become a pro basketball player, and yeah, he wants to do that. He wants to become a professional basketball player, and eventually join the NBA. And what he does is he goes looks up, and he plays pretty good in school, in high school, whatever. He joins the team, and maybe he gets into college, and he gets into like his college. He plays like really good, and now he's in college. And okay, he used to play really good in his high school in his friend group, and he's really good amongst them. And he really, really wants to go to the NBA, and he really believes it's possible because in his environment, he believed that he's really good at basketball because he actually was pretty good at basketball amongst his peers at that time. But now he's in college, and now there's people who are far, far, far better at basketball than him, and there's a lot of them. And what he does, he Googles, he searches up, how many percentage, how much percentage of people who play basketball in college make it to the NBA, and he realizes that it's highly, highly unlikely. It's like some, like, I don't know. I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but it's a very low percentage. Let's say it's like 5%, or maybe not, like in like 1%, right? And he realizes that he is probably not gonna go into the NBA because it's just unlikely. Only 1% of people make it, and there's just so many people here who are so much better than him. There is no possible way for him to go to the NBA, and he gives up on the dream. You know, he you know he focuses on other things other than basketball. He focuses more on his college. Maybe he gets a decent degree, gets a decent job, lives a decent life. Like an average, a good life. Okay, but he never fulfills his dream of getting into the NBA. But now there's a similar kid who was delusional, and he he's the same exact kid, let's just say, and he plays basketball. He's pretty good in high school. He gets into college. He's not the best right now. There's a lot of other people who play really, really well, but he's still like delusional almost that he might still make it to the NBA. And he practices, right. This is the most important part. Just delusion is not enough. You still gotta put in the time, put in the effort. You gotta lose sleep. You gotta train hard in the morning, train hard in the night. You gotta show up early, go out late. The whole Kobe Bryant thing. You know, you still gotta do that. But you only do that. You can only do that if you can still delude yourself into thinking that the impossible dream is still possible. Because if you do, it just might be. Because even the kid that stays delusional and tries his hardest to get into the NBA might actually not. He probably will not. Like most people who, you know, commit their entire life to this profession, to this sport, still won't ever make it to the NBA. But all the people that do make it to the NBA are delusional. They were delusional. They were the kid who still believed that they could be in the NBA. So you understand, right? Most delusional people fail, but all the people who succeed are delusional. And you really need to keep this idea in your mind to realize the best chance of you being able to succeed. By succeed, I mean achieving a specific goal that you have in life, is to stay delusional. Even most delusional people fail and never make it. And even if, let's just say, if you don't make it, let's play out the life of the kid who doesn't make it to the NBA, right? This is a bad example because I have no knowledge about basketball, but let me just play it out. So he tries his hardest. He plays pretty good in uh, he plays pretty good in college. He's pretty good. He gets pretty good because he works hard. And let's just say, by like some dumb luck, he just he just doesn't make it to the NBA, right? Now, worst case scenario, he doesn't make it to the NBA. His dreams of going to the NBA are now, let's just say, there's a finally over. He's out of college. He's not playing basketball in college anymore. He graduates. He gets the degree. He gets a decent job and lives a decent life. But at least he tried, because the guy who kind of gave up because it seems too impossible, he will always have that regret in his mind throughout his entire life, that what if I gave my all? Like, what if, I genuinely tried and didn't give up? What if I actually tried my best? Would I have then made it to the NBA? And the answer is, you really don't know. I can say that if you try your absolute hardest and give it your all, you're gonna succeed. Because you still might not, because a little bit of luck is still involved into these things, and not just luck, but a lot of other factors. Because especially in in sports, because maybe you're like 5'5", maybe you really love basketball, but you're like 5'5", so you know you're probably not gonna make it to the NBA just because just because you're 5'5", right? And but now if we talk about an example, not like, let's just say, I won't. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm fried. Uh, blah, blah, blah. So now let's me take an example. That's not about going into a professional sports or into a specific like league, basically, like the NBA. Let me take another example. Let's just say there's a kid who, let's just say, wants to be an entrepreneur, right? He wants to start a business. What does his I'm gonna scrap this video. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm still gonna post it. Shit. Okay, let me just try to explain this point. Um. Okay, because the example I picked, trying to go to the NBA, that can only happen in basically a finite amount of time, and it involves a lot of factors other than just your effort. Like, effort is still like 80% of the thing. But if you're not tall, if you're not like have the specific genetics, if you're not a little bit of lucky that the fucking recruits or whatever find you, maybe you get injured, at during a very specific game season, you know, a lot of stuff can go wrong. But it's just most people are not are not gonna have their dream fixated on going to a specific sports league, but a lot of them are going to be, they want to get into a certain career, they want to start a business, they want to pursue a certain passion of theirs instead of going down the normal route, the average route, getting a desk job, work 9 to 5, live a decent life. For those people, like, play it out. What's like the worst scenario? Let's say there's a guy who really, really loves to play the piano, or maybe like who really loves to draw. Let's just say he really loves to draw. He's a great artist. He loves to paint. He loves to whatever, right? He loves to draw. He's an artist, whatever. And I keep picking bad examples. I don't know shit about art. Okay, let me take another example. There's a kid who wants to be an entrepreneur, right? He wants to be an entrepreneur. Okay, and he does his whole. Let's say he has like a business idea that he wants to start, and let me be a bit more specific. Let's say there's a kid who's in college who wants to pursue this particular business that he wants that he really thinks is a will be he wants to start a business that he has an idea for, and he wants to pursue that. So if he's delusional enough to believe in himself, what he does is that he drops out of college to focus on his business and start giving all of his time into that specific business. He's focused, he puts a lot of time and effort, and best case scenario, it works. And being delusional paid off. And the worst case scenario is that it doesn't work. Okay, he dropped out of college, he went all in on his business, he works day in day out, but it just doesn't work. I can go on a side tangent that okay, I'm gonna say it. Okay, it just doesn't work. What now? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen now? It's like fuck it. Not any like when you play it out, it's not that bad. Like you can try again. You can do with you can see what went wrong and try to fix those things and then try again. You can always do that. Or like you ran out of money, you need a job, you can go land a job. You can like do like Uber Eats, like whatever, something. Like you might have to do some shitty job for a while. Maybe you might have to get sort of put your business plans on hold for some time and do some other thing to go all in on your business. But that to me doesn't really seem that bad, other than not actually being able to pursue what you truly want. Because I'd rather live broke while trying to make my dreams come true, rather than be average whilst not living my dreams, or like not working towards my dream every single day. And the thing is that if you work hard enough for a long enough time, and it's not something that is dependent like on external factors like going into the NBA, the UFC, like that can like you can still, I think you can do those with hard work and enough time, but those do require like physical sports. They do require a lot more like genetics and other factors that might come into play. That's just not in your control. But in other things, like if your goal is to be rich, you want to be uh, good at a certain field and then make money from that certain field, following a certain passion. I think with enough time and effort, basically every single person can succeed. I truly truly believe that in my heart. Let's just say you were really really like really passionate about playing the guitar, and just like you just fucking loved it, and you're willing to be kind of broke, and life just being really hard, and it just sucks. And but you can just, if you can just withstand that and just give it your all for like a decade straight, I don't see like how you cannot be successful. Because first of all, every single human being is capable of a lot more work than you think you are. Like you're much 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 more capable than you can even fathom. And you just really underestimate yourself because you just haven't seen it yet, frankly. And that's fine, but you can get better, you can get a lot better. And with enough time and effort, you can basically achieve basically anything. And there's luck involved always. But I think luck is like maybe 10, maybe 20% of the equation. And all that luck will do is that maybe not become the best in the world, we can still be pretty damn good. You know, like let's just take an example like entrepreneurship, right? There's a guy who started a business, let's just say, about AI, a decade ago. He starts, like, let's just say like OpenAI, whatever, right? He makes like an AI company. He made a company like a decade ago, and you could say that he got lucky that now a decade into the future that AI has exploded, it's become mainstream, and he becomes like the richest man in the world. Or you could say like Elon Musk or like uh, Bill Gates, like he just got into computers at the right time. He built Microsoft right before the fucking internet software boom, or Google. They came just right before this the .com bubble, whatever. I don't fucking know. But you can make an argument that these the biggest companies in the world, they just started at the right time. And yeah, but like, and yeah, that's why the biggest, because they started at the right time. But even if you didn't, even if you don't like nail the timing or start at the right time, you can still be pretty fucking great, right? Yeah, you might not be making GPUs whilst in the AI bubble, but you can still be like a fucking like really fucking successful and really fucking rich without getting the timing right. And there's another point of the argument, because the guy who started the AI business 10 years ago, was it luck, or was it that he actually had the foresight and the skills and the knowledge and the information to actually predict that, yeah, this is actually gonna be big? And you can make prediction and bets yourself, and maybe you're wrong, and maybe you can just say, oh fuck, it was lucky and I was wrong, I was just unlucky. But is it, or because this just, if it's that guy actually studied and paid uh, attention to what the industry is gonna head towards? So is that really luck? You know, I'm just ranting. My throat's really dry. I can't really think straight right now. Uh, but I was gonna make another point, but I forgot. But yeah, even if you don't have like the timing right, like you can still be a millionaire. Like I think every single human being on fucking planet Earth has the capability of getting filthy fucking rich. Maybe not a billionaire, but you can get to like rich. You can get to like 100K a month. Like every single person who's watching this video, like yeah, maybe you can make an argument like some kid in like fucking sub-Saharan Africa, or like some fucking some tribe, like you could make an argument like yeah, maybe not, maybe, right? But if you're watching this video and you have access to the internet, like you definitely can, like the person, if anybody's watching this video, which I highly doubt, there's not a single thing that's stopping you from becoming rich or achieving your goals. Because this is okay, if you if you believe that there's stuff that's stopping you from achieving your goals, I really want you to write it down. Like, get a piece of paper and write it down. Okay, let me just do it with you, okay? Okay, let's just say why. Let's write reason why you can't succeed. And if you're gonna start writing down, you might think, okay, uh, I don't have enough time. Okay, that might be an excuse you have, right? I don't have enough time. And like, what do you mean you don't have enough time? Every single person on like ever only has 24 hours in a day, right? And maybe, so you can say maybe I am bad at managing time, right? Like fuck. Every single person has 24 hours in a day, but you might say, oh, I have school, I have my job, I have college, I have this and that. Like, okay, have there been people who have had a job, went to school, went to college, and still succeeded while speaking those things? Like, yeah, okay, so it's possible. And maybe you're just bad at time management. Okay, then you write down how much time you actually have to give to your job. Okay, like, let's say you have a job and it's a 9 to 5. You're like, okay, I have to start, getting ready to leave at about 7:30, and there's a half an hour commute, so including the shower, the commute is actually more of like 7:30 to like 6. Okay, so that's just like, uh, uh okay, maybe let's say you have a 9 to 5, and it's 30-minute commute to go and to come back from work, and let's say it takes another 30 minutes for you to get ready in the morning to go to your job. Okay, then it's maybe like more of like 8 to 6. Okay, uh, and let's just say you you're eating and doing other like brushing your teeth, taking a shit, or like other miscellaneous activities that takes about an hour a day. So you add an hour for that. So 8 to 6. That what's that? That's like 10 hours, I think. Yeah, that's 10 hours. 11 hours. Let's say you do extra stuff. So you dedicate 8 hours to sleep. You still have about 5 hours left in the day, and you might thinking you might yeah you still have like 5 hours left in the day, and you and you might say, oh, it doesn't seem like, and you might think that you might think that 5 hours, it doesn't seem like 5 hours, and you look at your fucking screen time, your screen time is fucking 6 hours, and you wonder you don't have time. Okay, okay, dude, yeah, you can see. So you actually you do fuck, I can't speak. So you do have time, and you just don't know how to manage it, and just work. You can't work, like, after coming from your job. You can say, oh my god, my brain's so fried after coming from the job, I'm just so tired. It's like, well, shit, boohoo, you're tired, and you can still work if you're tired, right? You can still push your body. But okay, you don't want to work, like, nobody's gonna force you to work, right? This is your dreams that you want to achieve, and I just found extra 5 hours in a tight schedule. And you don't want to work, like, you don't want to work, like, that's your problem, because you don't want to work. It's not because there's something physically stopping you. If there's another excuse that you have is, you can write however many excuses that you want, but at the end of the day, that's what they are, excuses, because there's nothing like physically stopping you from achieving your goals. Like, there's not like a physical fundamental force of physics that's stopping you from achieving your goals, right? That it's technically possible. And if it's technically possible, then it is possible. And when you actually get to the what's actually stopping you from achieving your goals, and you really think hard and you get all of the bullshit out of the way, it's a couple of things that it's like you're scared to fail. And it's not more so you're scared to fail, you're scared to fail around others, because you are scared that you're going to be judged by them, that you failed, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I told you so. You're gonna fail. It's a stupid idea," and you're just scared of other people's judgment of you. And that sounds pathetic, but that's probably the biggest reason that stops most people from achieving their dreams. And most people, I mean me, I mean you and me. Like, when I say most people, I'm talking about like most people, and you are in the most people. Like, that's what I mean by most people. I am in most people, and this was stopping me. It's what stops everybody. Is that we're so afraid of caring about other people's opinion on us and how we live our lives. Fuck, I need to get some water. My throat's really dry. So when you break it down, there's nothing really stopping you from achieving your dreams. And even if it's improbable, it's still possible. And the only people who succeed are the people who are delusional and still put in the hours and still put in the effort, even when what they want to achieve is unlikely. And that's my case, that it's always worth it to give it your all to pursue your dreams. It's always worth it, like, because I just gave all of these reasons, right? Like, you have to be delusional, and all people who succeed are delusional, and there's nothing really stopping you from achieving your dreams if you look at it fundamentally, right? And another reason is that even if all of that was false, let's just say there was something actually physically stopping you from work. Let's just say uh, somebody like locked you up without internet in a room and locked the door and threw the key out, and you cannot get out. Like, if somebody did that, like, literally physically to you, that's the only way that like, that's like the only way that you cannot physically succeed. If somebody literally physically stops you from doing your work. And even then, like, if they stop you physically, someone is physically stopping you from doing the work, if you can get out of there, yeah, like, you can, if that, you can still get out of there a lot of the time, but it's not gonna happen. So there's nothing physically stopping you from work. Even if all of that was true, if there was something physically stopping you from work, and it was actually impossible to achieve, I I I think it'd still be worth it, because the life you live whilst you're not chasing a dream, that just seems like the worst fucking thing possible to me. A life that where I'm not giving it my all towards what I really want to do, that just seems the most awful thing in the world. Because even if it is impossible, even if it's not gonna happen, it's guaranteed to not happen, I still chased after that impossible dream, because fuck it. That's all I live for. If I'm not chasing after what I truly want, I might as well be dead, because that's honestly gonna be better than to live a life that is not truly how I want to live it. And that's what's, like, my biggest fucking, like, fear in life is to be average, or like be in the crowd, because the definition of being in the crowd is like following the crowd, and to follow the crowd, you have to not follow yourself. Like, like this has been in me since literally I was a child. I hated being part of, like, a group. I hate, like, trendy stuff, because a lot of people do shit that's just like because it's trendy. I fucking hate that, because it just makes me feel that I'm part of this group that is like just, part of the masses. It just makes me feel like that. It makes me feel like sheep, and I fucking hate that feeling. I hate being average. I'm highly competitive. Uh, I always, at least in my circle, like, the people I physically surround myself with, my friends and etc. I always have to be the best in that circle, and that's that's a good thing, because when I'm not, it actually makes me to strive to be better. But it's also like a curse, because it can really lead to complacency, because being at the top feels really good, but when you're at the top of like a tiny little mountain, it doesn't matter when you want to climb fucking Mount Everest or whatever, right? So yeah, because if you're like the best guy in the room, you need to leave the fucking room, because you're not growing there. That's like another topic, but yeah, I really fucking hate being average and part of the masses, and living a life that's not mine, not truly mine, whilst I'm not chasing what I want. And it just fucking sucks me dry, man. I could not imagine living like that. Like, whenever I go in, like the subway, or like the public commute, and I see fucking people coming home from their jobs, they have the fucking shirts and ties on, and the looks on their faces, it's like, holy fuck, that people like work jobs, man. Like, can you, like, that's just so fucking hard for me to imagine that you wake up and go do a fucking job in the morning, come back in the evening, fucking scroll on Instagram, and then go to sleep and wake up and then fucking go again, and it doesn't seem possible to me, because I don't think I could do that for a week. If I fucking kill myself in a month if I ever landed a normal fucking 9 to 5 jobs. I am 100% sure of that. And when I look at the faces of these people, that just that alone, fuck, it kills me. Like, they're always, you can see them, right? They've been in the fucking in the metro. They're sitting down. Like, number one, either they're on the fucking phone, they side like this, fucking mouth breathing like this, or they're just sitting doing fucking nothing. They're like dead. They seem literally dead inside. And what I'm saying is not crazy. Like, everybody fucking knows this. Yeah, man. I I would not be able to work a fucking 9 to 5. I know that for sure. And I much rather die trying than not try at all. Yeah, I would genuinely prefer a life where I just worked hard, tried, and gave it my fucking all, you know, and didn't. I'd rather prefer a life where I gave it my all, worked really fucking hard, left nothing at the table, everything at the field, and not succeed, rather than living a life where I didn't try hard enough. So that's the third reason, that even if it is impossible, I don't. It's I don't know if everybody's like this, but I think most people are, but they're just fucking polluted. Their mind is polluted, and they've been fucking psyoped into believing otherwise. But this is the third reason, that just giving your entire life to your dreams is still better than giving your entire life working towards your goals, and failing is still better than not trying. Even if what you're trying to achieve is impossible, it's still worth it to try and give it your all. So these are the three reasons why you should always be chasing the impossible dream. Because number one, if you're gonna if you're chasing it, that's the only way you can achieve it. Because, like, if you're not chasing it, if you're not delusional, there's 0% chance that you succeed. If you are delusional, there's a 1% chance that you succeed. And everybody who succeeds is delusional. Second of all, that is not really impossible, because there's nothing physically stopping you from achieving your dreams, because the people who have already achieved the dreams that you have, they're all fucking normal people, right? Like fucking Elon Musk, or like whatever person that you look up to. Just imagine that they still need to eat, they still need to drink water, they still fucking shit and piss. They're still fucking humans, right? You need to understand that. And if they can do it, there's no reason possible that you cannot. And the third reason is that even if it was impossible, giving it giving it your all to lead a life that's truly yours, and giving 100% of your effort into chasing your dream is still better than not chasing it at all. Yeah, that's it. That's the video. Uh, I got really sidetracked. There was fuck. I'm so brain dead. I need to study. I have a physics exam tomorrow, and I haven't studied shit. Yeah, that's it. Bye.